Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. With Bitcoin forming a lower time frame inverse head and shoulders pattern, bulls are patiently waiting at the chart, seeing if we'll get a slight bit of price recovery as altcoins continue to slide universally across the board. However, traditional indexes are pumping nicely today. So, are we going to see Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency markets follow along with traditional markets, or are we fated to play out the higher time frame head and shoulders and descend deep into the bowels of the lower 20,000s? Find out on today's show. Okay. No secondary intro. We'll just keep it nice and simple, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Obviously, this is the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. My name is Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at CrackingCryptocurrency.com. Hopefully everybody is doing absolutely fantastic today. We have got an incredible show for you. We are going to be going over everything important in the cryptocurrency markets right now. Before we begin, we are very proud to host the fastest growing community of online cryptocurrency traders and investors. To stay connected, make sure to join the absolutely free Discord to keep up with the community long after the show is over at discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Link is conveniently down in the description below, as well as links to everything else you could possibly need. Shout outs to the chat. I see Profit Bear, Ron Legato, and Caprica in here. Good to see you guys. Okay, so high on the news, of course, is the US debt ceiling limit. This is really the overlying macroeconomic thing that is currently the big hullabaloo that everybody is gathering around. And I don't have massively strong opinions on that. You know, I do have opinions on it, but the reality of the situation is you don't need to really worry about these fundamental events to be a successful trader. I mean, just a very simple, important rule of avoiding kind of news activity is decent. Will save you a lot of trouble and activity. Yesterday, we did talk, of course, about Hong Kong potentially opening up the floodgates to retail investors starting June 1st. So that is right around the corner. We have 1 week until Hong Kong investors can begin jumping back into the virtual assets market, or not necessarily jump back in, but jump back in a regulated and official fashion, which of course makes things bigger and easier. Of course, CZ of Binance infamy did tweet about this very same thing yesterday, that Chinese Central Television, CCTV, just broadcasted an advertisement about cryptocurrency, urging exchanges and retail, it was mainly targeted at exchanges and brokers to obtain the proper licensing in anticipation of what's coming up in just a week. And he says here, historically, coverages like this have led to bull runs, not saying past predicts the future and not financial advice. Of course, nothing you say is financial advice, CZ. We would never, ever construe anything you ever say as financial advice, despite the fact that a mere whisper from you can tremble or rally the markets. So interesting. And of course, we have seen this correlation many times before with China and the cryptocurrency markets. China will ban Bitcoin mining and the markets will crash. They will enable Bitcoin mining and the markets will surge. And of course, we had the great mining exodus. If you guys have ever charted or tracked or studied kind of the hash rate or Bitcoin mining fundamentals over the last few years, we had the great China exodus, and we saw a large uptick in Bitcoin mining in other locations, particularly the United States and Canada. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. So I think this is important, although I do want to point out kind of the contrary opinion on this, which was very nicely elaborated on by our junior analyst Reflex in the Discord. And he said, let me actually pull up his Discord so I can read exactly what he said here. And he said, and I quote, he said he was thinking, what if all this news is just another manipulation to sell off even further? Everyone loading up their bags, media portraying that we're mooning soon, only to sell off even further, maybe even the last straw. I have never been a fan of news, and looking at this just makes me a bit concerned. Sure, it may be bullish, but I don't know. It's a bit, The timing is too perfect, all happening during May when markets sell off the most. So very good opinion, very good take on this potentially contrarian opinion on what otherwise could be viewed as a bullish thing. You typically, I mean, the age-old kind of wisdom when it comes to investing is buy when there's blood in the streets and sell when others are greedy. And that's served us very well in the cryptocurrency markets as well, which is all very much based around momentum and hype. It's like the stock market on steroids. So I'm interested to get y'all's take on exactly how you think, because obviously I think we have a very bullish case. We have the fact that the markets are being opened up to cryptocurrency in a sector of the world that previously didn't have regulated access, and that is just going to increase the amount of people who are able to trade and influx. Now, here's the thing: as an analyst, we're actually able to just get very good metrics on this. Bitcoin, by the way, beginning to break out right now on the lower time frames. Completing this. I said this is exactly the first thing that I said before the show. We've got an inverted head and shoulders pattern on the lower time frames. Bitcoin doing a nice breakout of that behavior. And it is a good time for me just to double check on my position here. Small long position on KuCoin futures on BTC. All right. Oh, I'm an expert at clicking pictures of books and cannonballs, KuCoin. Thank you very much. Okay, excellent. Yes. And we did have an average entry here of, let's see here, average entry of, where is my entry price? 26,347. So we are up, boys. We are doing okay. All right. And all's well. B-Flow says, if it was real, then we would have gotten blindsided by the old Jericho candle. Well, ask and you shall receive, brother. Ask and you shall receive. Profit Bear, thank you so much, man. You have been a member of the channel for 29 months, giving you the helpful supporter tag here on the YouTubes. Highly appreciated, man. I appreciate you've been around for a long time. And he says, not rich yet, but rich in knowledge. It is game time. Yes. You know, I saw an interesting take earlier from Mac and BTC on the Twitters. Let's actually see if I can't pull it up. I like Mac and BTC. He posts some good stuff here on the tweets. And what did he say? Yeah, he said, this is likely the last summer for the next 2 years where you can be away from the keyboard from the markets and enjoy life. Right now, the markets are still boring as hell, and he expects them to be for a few months longer. His plan is to sit on the sidelines, experience as much as possible this summer, then lock myself in a room and extract as much capital from these degen markets during the next 2 years. Well said. Well said. I like that. All right, get back to normal size here. So well said. Let me know what you guys think too. Do you think that this summer is going to be the summer of activity, or do you think we're going to lull this summer and then really start picking up steam toward the end of the year, or perhaps 2024? Caprica says 2015 type bull run would be nice. Yes. Yes, I agree. Okay. Let's double check the YouTube comments and give a shout out to anybody who commented on yesterday's stream. We've got a comment here from White on Rice. He says, let's see here. White on Rice says, dude, you're awesome. Thanks for all the info and all you do. Thank you very much, my friend. 11K from Mr. Ether Robert Warner. Woo! Oh, no. I don't want to talk about. We're not talking about 11K, man. No. Starman Jack says, I can't wait till I'm able to subscribe again. Love your work and training programs. I have learned so much following you for 3 years. Thank you so much, Jack. Love you, brother. Magnus says, we are fully escaping. Every single indicator signaling the bull market is triggered, but we will be sideways until October. So again, right there, signaling exactly what we just read from Mac and BTC. And Ron Legato giving us the little smile in the wave. Love you, brother. Okay. Let's start with our trade of the day breakdown. The trade of the day breakdown, again, I just showed you guys, it is just the intraday long position on BTC. And let's discuss exactly what's going on here, and then we'll go over what the system is talking about. So yesterday we obviously had that news that Hong Kong was opening up the floodgates, and I just took a fundamental position. I thought that the market that information had not percolated through the market, so I did take a position based off news or fundamentals. At the same time, I saw that price had drived back down here to support. We talked about that. And while I do have my hedge and my primary positions open with my strategy account, I do have my discretionary trading account, and that's the trade I'm going to be talking about today. So again, just taking a trade based on the assumption that this news had not yet percolated through the market, and then once it did percolate through the market, that we would get a little bit of a recovery. And remember, my original thesis from this range right here anyways was along up to grab liquidity above these highs before the move down in the resolution of this inverted head, excuse me, not inverted, this actual head and shoulders that we have on the daily time frame. So let's start there. No. Here we go. Yeah, so let's start here. So primary thing that I'm seeing from a pattern perspective or from a charting perspective is, of course, this head and shoulders pattern that's occurring on the daily time frame. Measured move of this does take us down to 23.4K. And because we actually redrew this, and it'll change a little bit based on log or linear, but we had previously drawn this in a way that looked as if this movement to the downside actually broke the neckline. And breaking the neckline is your typical trigger for entering a head and shoulders trade. And it actually looked like we back tested and rejected the neckline as resistance, which is even more strength. So given that perspective, if you're short from 27,611, I think that you're in a good spot. No reason to really do anything here. We'll see how far the bulls can push price up, or if we are going to kind of spring up from here. But that is what we're seeing right now. We do, of course, since we are now, let's get the baseline out. This is our very simple tool. This just tells us what our trend direction bias is. Well, we are above the daily baseline, so we are biased to the long side overall, and that should really take precedence over everything that we do. Of course, there are different ways to use a baseline. Perhaps you have a much tighter baseline. Maybe you're using a 55 exponential moving average instead of what I'm using here, which is a 200 period Dawn chain. However you want to construct your strategy, doesn't matter as long as you follow it consistently. We've got Alex81SG all the way from Rome, I do believe. Ooh, man, how you doing over there, brother? He says, hi. I'm personally turning it into I'm not, you know what? I'm not even going to read that, Brett. It's not going to happen, brother. Alex says, still in a bear, in my opinion. One big indicator for me is GBTC still trading at a big discount. Tells me that institutional investors have still little interest in getting exposure to crypto. That's interesting. Yeah, obviously GBTC has been used as a fundamental indicator. I've seen lots of good analysis on this. One thing that I would posit though is with the whole GBTC thing, it is a fact that DCG, the Digital Currency Group, who we were hearing so much about in the news just about a month or so ago, they have a very large, if I understand everything correctly, they had a very large position of GBTC, and it was very complicated, but essentially the thesis went that DCG had to distribute or is on a distribution schedule for their GBTC because they're basically in arrears and they need to pay their debts. So potentially that might be one reason, like there is only X amount of GBTC and DCG owns an inordinate amount of it. And perhaps that downwards price momentum is the very fact that that they're still in their distribution cycle. Or I could be completely wrong. Again, that's not necessarily my opinion, just something that I've read. So, but something interesting to consider. I know that Grayscale has kind of been in a lot of trouble or heat lately. So I also know, for example, that Silvergate Bank, and I do believe maybe not Silvergate Bank, but I know that some of these other institutions also had that exposure to GBTC. And since a lot of those institutions have been shuttered or in financial issues, they could be distributing that as well. But again, I think that you have a very good idea. Like if we see GBTC beginning to pick up, then that is our indication, or potentially an indication, that institutional investors are starting to pay attention and getting kind of the safest exposure that they can to the markets. Because with GBTC, it's not like investing in raw blockchain crypto. So great points, Alex. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Okay. So we're biased to the long side. Let's go ahead and bring up the full strategy here and see what's going on. So if we were using a tighter baseline, my strategy would have had a short on this candle right here. You can see on the preceding candle, we crossed below zero on the Minx oscillator. We're also below zero on parallax, a confirming indicator. And then we finally get that volatility spike with negative delta from Wada Atari explosion, which is our volatility indicator. And that's the signal to go short. And if we just back play to that date, we'll just back play to that date right here. And we'll establish our position right here. We're using Quadriga ATR as our stop and target system. We had invalidation at 29,186 and our first target's at 26,589. I do believe we've hit that. So let's just go ahead and mark out our TP1 here. And we can get rid of this line. And we can go ahead and exit replay mode. And oh yeah, man, we have hit TP1, probably hit TP2 there, because let's on this wick to the downside right here. So let's go back and check for that as well. We had TP2 at 25,550. And now we'll exit replay mode. No, we did just barely miss the 25,550 on the Binance USDT market. But that would be the next target for that particular position. Do we have an exit signal? No, not really. There's no regular bullish divergence, which I will use as an exit signal, and Minx is not oversold, which is the primary exit signal. To cross over in oversold territory is the primary exit signal for Minx there. So no reason to exit the short position. So if you are a trader who is using our strategy and you are using a tighter baseline, like let's say the 55 EMA would have gotten you into that short position very, very nicely right there, as opposed to the 200 period dawn chain. I like the 200 period dawn chain. It allows me to hold positions open longer and kind of get those big wins. All right, but as of right now, PTP is not signaling anything. Again, we are above the baseline. We would be strategically looking to long any reversal baseline bounces. These would be dips down to the 24,271 area. We could also, of course, enter into long positions, depending on what strategy you have, on cross ups or crosses of the zero line, which would be the actual correct signal to use. I don't want to say correct, but that's certainly the primary signal I use. That's my primary signal, and the crosses are secondary signals. So that's what we've got going on. No real activities happening on the daily time frame. Again, just consolidation, potential head and shoulders pattern, and perhaps resolution of 23.4. Now, of course, if we do lose the daily baseline, we do want to be concerned about prices continuing to move down. But if we zoom in right here on this previous dip buying opportunity, we can see that price did stick its little head. Turtle peaked its head right below the baseline right there, and we still rallied from that. So again, some nice things here. Again, Minx was oversold right here in this area. Once we penetrated the baseline, and we put in a hammer candle, which is a typical reversal candle. So again, good signs there, as opposed to like just, you know, bloodbath and catastrophe and batteries and all that. But I digress. So really nothing happening here on the daily time frame. Again, with a tighter baseline, you did have a short that is in profit. And for me, I'm just kind of taking that low position long here. Now, let's zoom down to the 4-hour time frame, which the 4-hour time frame, of course, has had you short since the breakdown candle of the baseline right here back on the 23rd of May. So this has been a fully successful 4-hour trade. And we've had this opportunity to get short again right here, probably resulting in a TP1 for this movement right here. Let's actually just go double check that. I want to make sure I'm giving you correct information. The crossover occurs on this bar. So it's always very helpful to go back and see what the signal looked like in real time. So no, not on that bar, excuse me. We want to go forward 1 bar. Yeah, it occurred on this bar. All right, so you're getting in at 4-hour close on this bar, and we are targeting Bing, Bing, and Bing. And we'll get rid of that with an invalidation we saw. Let's just stick it right there, although that's not 100% correct. And let's see here, subsequent candle. Let's just keep it going. Okay, boom, there's TP1. Okay, so TP1 and then back out at break even. So small profit on that particular position on the 4-hour time frame, not bad. Let's just keep things going here. What else do we have? This one's a tricky one. I mean, you could certainly go. I feel like this is going to be a losing trade, but them's the ropes sometimes. Here and here. And Yeah, there we hit their stop loss right there. And yeah, really no hope for anything there anyways. Okay. So not much more on the 4 hour here. Just some chop and consolidation. Here we go. This candle right here gave us a short signal. This one right here. And we can go back? Jump to, there we go. Yeah. So short position here, getting short on the 4 hour. And boom. Yeah. Nicely hitting TP1, probably TP2 right there. And then back out at that TP1. All right. So easy trade. 4 hour pathways to profit strategies doing fine. Nothing right now. So catching this move, all the others. Let's go down to the, and it's not, we're not getting any signals right now. You could actually still, of course, have the short position. You'd still have the short position open from this bar. So still short on this bar on the 4 hour and doing nicely. Hourly time frame. We're probably getting a signal here pretty soon. So we're not getting a long signal just yet. Unless you really wanted to take, you see consolidation, you see price here, kind of just doing this triple bottom in oversold territory. That's a little bit more discretionary, a little bit more choosy or picky for me. I'm not a big fan of that. Magnus just hit his first TP. Awesome, man. Congratulations, brother. Take a sip of coffee and wash it down with a sip of tea. That's how we do it, boys. Okay. Yeah, so on the hourly, we're not getting any signals. Why? Because we're below the daily baseline. We do need price to be above 26,683 before we can take any action here. Let's go ahead and exit replay mode because that's not really helping us right now. But except for the fact of the baseline, everything's looking pretty good. You know, we were, you know, drastically oversold here. And of course, you know, with a 55 EMO, we're even potentially looking at going long, perhaps on this very bar, but we're crossing the zero line. We've got the volume momentum, or the volatility momentum, excuse me, and we've got Parallax all agreeing. And chase it all down with a little bottle of Chianti, man. Yeah. Yep. Good movie, man. Good movie. On the daily, I did, of course, want to check for bottom feeder, which is our automated strategy. Doing very well on catching these dips. Long here, long, pop. We did, of course, bottom feeder was buying up this dip right now, averaging down 4 subsequent times, and that trade is still open. We do have a TP of 27,870. Which would go nicely. Like if we pump from here and we do grab liquidity before moving down to resolve that head and shoulders pattern, then bottom feeder is just nailing it right now. Invalidation at 25,182. So bottom feeder's been, I mean, doing absolutely amazing. We just scroll back and look at all these wins bottom feeder's had, right? Like buy before the pump, buy before the pump, buy after the dump, buy before the pump, buy the dip, and yeah, bottom feeder's just doing great right now. And not just on Bitcoin. I mean, bottom feeder is crushing it on basically every asset. So I think the thing to do right now for the Bitcoin trader, it just really depends on how you want to trade, right? I'll just tell you guys how I trade. I think that where we're at right here is a pretty dangerous area to trade. Of course, if you're bullish, we are above the baseline. So I do want to be biased to take long positions. I would prefer to see price do a little tickle down here on the baseline before pumping up again, but we often don't get what we want. So this is exactly kind of what I talked about yesterday. If you're watching the hourly or the 4 hour, I would be watching the 27,517 level, and I'd be buying the breakout of 27,517. But if you're going to do that, you might as well have the balls to buy down here, right? 27,517 and up to 28,654. And at 28,654, which would be a sweep above this previous high where liquidity is, where we know stop losses are, I would definitely take at least 50% of your profit, if not all, and reevaluate. Because if we reject from there, we want to be short for that movement down to 23.4, and that way we're getting in kind of at the top. But we also might continue to break, which is why I personally would be only taking 50% off. So again, I'm long here, and we'll just watch, right? If again, I don't think that we're going to get many more chances here, right? So that's Bitcoin daily, hourly, or excuse me, daily, 4 hour and hourly. Let's now move our attention to Ethereum. Again, Ethereum showcasing the very same head and shoulders pattern. Measured movement down here. Why did I not move that line up? Measured movement down to 1496, just as I discussed yesterday. Let's actually go ahead and put that. $14.96. And again, just the exact same price action here from Ethereum that we're seeing from Bitcoin, right? So again, measured movement down to 1496, and we've got this attempt to break down below support, but we're getting this dip buying right now. Not crazy, nothing like a big Jericho candle on the daily time frame or anything like that, but not, I mean, not bad, you know. Again, keeping things very simple here. Again, Ethereum is also above the baseline. Again, Ethereum just looks identical to Bitcoin right here. I mean, everything's the same. Ethereum, again, poked its head below the baseline before rallying here. Will we see the exact same thing? Well, the head and shoulders pattern resolution would be very nice for that particular setup. We are below the zero line on Minx. So except for the baseline, that's bearish. Below the zero line on Parallax. So except for the baseline, that's bearish. Wadatar Explosion did kind of catch this momentum, but a little bit late. Okay, good. We do have the false positive filter off. And other than that, again, Ethereum just looks just like Bitcoin. So I would adopt the exact same strategy for Ethereum on the daily time frame as I would for Bitcoin. Bottom feeder has not been signaling as much for Bitcoin. Bottom feeder signaling a lot for Bitcoin, but bought here, that was probably a bad call. Bought here, which was great, and of course bought right on this candle. So good job, bottom feeder. You've been rocking it out, man. Okay, so coming down to the 4-hour time frame. Coming down to the 4-hour time frame, the baseline has been very instructive here. Of course, we were rallying, consolidation before this breakdown, and you can just see kind of this bifurcation of the market, right? Equal price, overpriced, and then we're back down in that underprice. But the difference is we were heading up, and now it looks like we're heading down, making lower lows and lower highs overall. And just recently, this recent rally rejected right off the baseline. So these reversal baseline bounces are just money, guys. I mean, they're such good trades. And this is why, I mean, the 55 EMA is good. The 26 Donchian is good. I like the 200 Donchain. It just seems very, very accurate for me. Profit Bear's got friends in low places, my friend. You got friends in high places too. If we go, yes, you might get what you need sometimes, man. If we go below 25.4, the bull run is over for some time. I mean, that would be negative, right? The headlines would change. Oh my God, the haters would come out of the woodworks. Like, you know, my friends will start questioning what I'm doing with my life again. Like, we can't go through that, man. So I need you guys to just go ahead and market buy. Just kidding. You guys make your own financial decisions. I'm just here to provide analysis. All right, so yeah. Ethereum below the baseline. Again, we covered this yesterday, but of course, just breakdown right here. This is a nice trade signal right here, catching this particular movement. Reversal baseline bounce here, reversal baseline bounce here, reversal baseline bounce here. Fake out, probably losing trade, but then we break back down and we get that trading signal on this breakdown candle, so able to catch this movement. And then again, just reversal baseline bounce right here. So the 4-hour time frame is bearish on Ethereum and has given us some beautiful bearish trades. No need to take any other action right now. Moving down to the hourly on Ethereum. Again, what do we see right here? Definitely more choppy. Of course, the lower in time frames you go, just the more chop you are going to see. But on the hourly time frame, again, catching this breakdown, opportunity to catch this short on the hourly. We've now rallied to the baseline. And what we would be doing right now on the hourly is we'd be taking the short. All right, we would be taking the short. This is a reversal baseline bounce. And price ran right up to the baseline and rejected. Only if we cross above the baseline would we consider going long on Ethereum on the hourly time frame. So definitely the trade that we're seeing with the strategy is the reversal short, the reversal baseline bounce here for Ethereum, and just expecting for the trend to continue. Good R to R on this trade too as well. We've got invalidation directly above the baseline with our targets at 1796, 1786, and 1775. So hourly bearish. We in the money, boys. Yeah, we in the money. Let's see here. Okay, so one of what I'm watching, of course, we are still watching and trading to a degree RNDR. So let's take it the R. Let's actually, you know what? Let's not just say we're going to look at RNDR. Let's let's go and look at crypto bubbles and see kind of what's an exciting token today. So in the top 100, again, most coins are bleeding out today. RNDR giving back a lot of its gains that it had over the month, still up 50% on the month, but only up 18% on the week, where previously that was like 49%. We do see there that Hex was down. Let's look at Hex. So Hex was actually down 50% and then rallied quite a bit and gained a lot of that, but now we're back down again. But again, I think one of the reasons for the decline of Hex was, earlier I had theorized that it was the fact that the Pulse Chain bridge had issues, but it was just congested and now it's all cleared up. But actually, I think it was just the duplication of tokens, something to do with the Hex PX thing. So individuals taking the opportunity to kind of sell it off quite a bit. Anyways, what else is looking good? We've got Kava obviously up this month, 45.2% up. Of course, Pepe Le Frog. Let's check. Let's check in with Pepe. I think Pepe would be a good asset to chart right now. Pepe. And we'll look at Pepe on Binance. And yeah, I mean, like typical, here's the weekly chart, like typical narrative of a shitcoin, like massive pump, right? What was this, like a big pump? And then as soon as it lists on, like, here's the thing, right? No. Pepe was already pumping way prior to this on the smaller exchanges. Then as soon as it listed on Binance, just everybody who bought on decentralized exchanges took that opportunity to sell into a liquid market. And now price is just moving down. And this kind of looks like your typical shitcoin chart. Now, big dive down, maybe double bottom here. Like, who's going to be brave enough to buy the Pepe dip? Who is brave enough to buy the Pepe dip, right? Here we go. We see the big pumps on OKX, right? It's 573 since listing on OKX and then listing on Binance right here and decline. We can obviously go to Dex Screener and see a little bit more. On Uniswap, Pepe. Come on, Pepe. Let's get it going here, bud. Now we can see the run up on Pepe, right? So here's the original accumulation price. So about a 2,000% run if you got in at the accumulation price right here. We can definitely have an aftershock pump, right? Could definitely have an aftershock pump. Again, we'll often see this with cryptocurrencies where we will have that initial pump and then the big sell-off as everybody cashes out, and then the money will rotate back into the currency. But we've already seen the money rotate from Pepe to like my ladies. What are the other ones that pump to as well? We had out of the top 200 now, down to the top. Yeah, Bob, Ignite, Samo, Monkeys, Wojak. Wojak was a big one. Yeah, but here we can see, like, on the monthly, pretty much you can see all the markets are down double digits, right? So it has been a rough month for crypto investing unless you were holding these select tokens. So this is not like your typical crypto, bull alt season where everything's pumping. No, like, money is rotating, exit liquidity is being taken in the larger positions right now. And if crypto breaks, if Bitcoin and Ethereum break down too and take the rest of the market with it, then things are going to be pretty bad for a while. Things are going to be pretty bad for a while. Okay. All right. I'll open it up, guys, to one cryptocurrency chart request, and I'll also do a traditional chart request or a Forex request. And while I am waiting for your requests, of course, we're going to come over here and we are going to plug the premium trading group, of course. If you guys enjoy the content, if you guys enjoy what we're doing, you guys can come and master cryptocurrency trading with us. We have been educating traders since 2017 on how to build their own profitable strategies from the ground up, regardless of your experience level. If you're new to trading, then we offer you great courses, guides, mentoring, coaching, and our community to help you get your strategy on track. If you're an experienced trader, we help you polish your skills, see things that you're missing. And again, the best benefit is just being with a community of traders who are looking at what you're looking at, who can give you an honest opinion, and who aren't there to self-glorify you, which is what you'll often get with trying to find decent trading information online. It is one of the reasons why I founded Kraken Cryptocurrency, and one of the main reason why we do what we do, because I was tired when I was trying to learn how to trade cryptocurrency. It was so difficult, like just trying to find information on Reddit, trying to find information on Twitter, and you have to scroll past like 20 scams, 10 fake influencers, 6 fake gurus just to find somebody who's actually trading and knows what the hell they're talking about. So anyways, guys, we've got a great community. If you guys are interested, you guys can visit premium.krakencryptocurrency.com. Link is down in the description below to find out more information about joining our community. We do have a request from Profit Bear. Can I chart NXU on the trad markets? Yes, I can. Let's take a look at the NXU. NXU trading on the NASDAQ. Start off with the weekly. Well, not off to a good start, brother. We are not off to a good start. Since it's listing on the NASDAQ, this thing has known down only. Here is its opening price, and we are down 98.42%. Congratulations, NXU. Almost completely all the money gone, right? I just smoked it. So what we're, I mean, this is like a crypto chart, man. Like what we're seeing is like the sell off, and then it'll get pumped and dumped. And then even gap down here, pump and dump, pump and dump. Wow, that was the most brutal pump and dump. Like you didn't even get a green close. It was just like, no, done, right? I mean, this looks pretty rough, man. We look like every time we've had this kind of like bottoming and test of support, we just continue to break down, bottoming and test of support, break down. And now we're seeing that exact same thing. Like Although, if this was a cryptocurrency chart, I might actually be interested in buying, because what we're seeing here is a pattern that I will often see in cryptocurrency, where once something is really sold off, we can already see this thing's been pumped and dumped. So this is a juicy target for pump and dump groups or boiler room groups. Just DCA, just DCA, man. Just get that average cost down. But anyways, what we're seeing is like pre-accumulation before a run. Okay, it is something that we'll very much often see in cryptocurrency charts. Let's see if I can't find a good example of that. Let me think for a second. I've seen it many times. Let's just go to crypto bubbles and maybe we'll try and pick a random pair out of the top. I don't know. Let's say top 300. Let's look at, we want something that's a little C98, maybe C98 might work. We might want to go lower, but we'll try C98 and before we return back to NXU. So I just want to kind of illustrate this maybe. Yeah, so again, we're potentially seeing it here on C98, right? Where, this thing just sold off tremendously. And then what we have here now is we have 2 pumps. And this is kind of like accumulation prior to a big run is how we'll often see these play out. So even though that wasn't the best example because we didn't get the follow through. So yeah, I want to find a good example of this, and I'm going to need to find something that, is a little bit older, that's been around for a few cycles. Let's see here, top 600. Maybe Digibyte, maybe DGB. No, we need something different, man. Let's try, I think Litecoin maybe. I mean, this is kind of an example of what we're talking about, but it's not perfect. I apologize that I can't find a good example before. I just know I've seen it many times before. So, and again, this is a traditional asset, not a stock, but of course traders and accumulators will think the exact same way. I just find it very interesting that we're bottoming out. We've had 2 nice pumps off the bottom. So I would definitely keep an eye on NXU. I don't have any other like fundamental information about this. Again, what have we seen in the past? The trend of this chart is obviously to the downside. But this particular pattern does present an opportunity. So I wouldn't necessarily buy the dip unless you have faith in this or believe in it or have some reason to invest in it. Like, then that's fine, man. Sometimes you just got to take risks even when nobody else believes in you. But this does present an opportunity. So like, I would just monitor this area. And if we actually see like a breakout of this zone and it sustains, then again, we've seen some accumulation here. So there might actually be some bag pumping coming in for NXU. But despite that, I mean, that's predicated on the idea that this is actually happening. If it is not, then good luck, man. I see opportunity, man. I know I'm a degen. All right, we'll take a look at VLCN for you too, man. Volcon Incorporated listing on the net. Is anything that is below the low we're gonna buy. This is kind of neat, right? Like, but we have to ask the question, right? Like, why did the market gap down like 40 or 30%, right? Like, why did the market gap down 33%? It's possible that the market is wrong, or it's possible that this is like some actual fundamental information about the company, in which case the trend is likely to continue. But I mean, just kind of your classic reversal fill the gap trade here. There's like a 41% possibility to the upside here if we were to just to go back and fill this void, fill this imbalance. Sometimes those can take quite a long time. Sometimes they can happen overnight. Gap fills are something I'm much more comfortable with on like the ES futures, for example. Let's see here, checking in on Bitcoin real quick. Yeah, just kind of rejecting off that top. Seems like we might have reached a local bottom on the very, very low time frames, potentially going for that second push back up here. So we are going to see if we actually do break through the resistance level of the 200 period Dawn chain on the hourly. Yeah, so I mean, so let's talk about the good things, right? I mean, obviously, right, like strategically, the way that I would trade this is I would not be going long this. In fact, the only opportunity I really saw here was this reversal baseline bounce. And here's an opportunity to short. And here's an opportunity to short, and we would have still held that position open. Definitely wouldn't be entering short or any gap down. But yeah, I mean, just trading the trend has been very, very good here. And for Volcon to reverse the trend, I mean, we need to rally over 100%. So good, good eyes, Profit Bear, good eyes, Degen, find identifying assets that are this low. Okay, Magnus Soderberg has an interesting question here. He says, essentially, could I help him build a strategy with the indicators Profit Trailer has? Yeah, I'm familiar with Profit Trailer. I actually have a lifetime license for Profit Trailer, although I don't use it. I have helped a lot of people make, like 3 commas bots. And I was talking about this yesterday, right? Like, these like DCA bots or all these kind of things. I think they can be really, really good if you want to, if you're really committed to it, right? It's not as simple as like set it and forget it. You've got to, constantly like adjust, switch the markets, switch risk and all these things. And yeah, and listen, I don't want to make, I always hate this, right? Because I like everybody. I don't want to promise to something I can't do, but if you DM me in Discord with some details, I'd be happy to take a look at it and see if I can help you out, man. Yeah, I'd be glad to take a look. That is what we do. We help people make strategies. So I'm sure we can make it happen. We've got, because again, it's probably not that complicated because I've got I've got quite a few like 3 commas bots that perform very well. So we can just look at what you got, and then we can look at what we can do to improve that. Professor X of crypto. Hope I don't go out like Professor X in the Multiverse of Madness. That was just so bad, dude. It was so bad. That was like one of the, I mean, like, it was cool to watch, but it was, God, it's just a terrible, honestly, just terrible movie, dude. I cannot believe how Marvel's just screwing up their canon lately. I did enjoy, of course, I like Guardians of the Galaxy. So Guardians of the Galaxy really like keeping the Marvel franchise alive right now. I'm not gonna lie. All right, hourly time frame. What's going on? Again, still a rejection from the daily baseline, and that pullback down. Thank you, Zabak. I appreciate that, man. I have been around a long time. Not just as long as Professor X. Been around a long time. No, you guys are great. Let's see here. Good show. Anything? Oh, sorry. Let me. Yeah, so let's do our Forex market wrap right here real quick before Forex closes. Be trading the exact same way. Aussie yen, nothing. Again, we were short over here for this particular movement right here. Or maybe reversal baseline bounce. We didn't take this trade, and now nothing. So I don't see any bearish on the Aussie yen. Again, kind of the same bottoming pattern here, but we'll see if we get a breakout. We still got to cross above 91.502. Aussie Kiwi, great run, obviously, right? Like just beautiful long on the Aussie Kiwi. And I mean, this is a little bit more damning at the Kiwi than the Aussie, than more congratulatory about the Aussie, but it doesn't matter. Nice run up on the Aussie Kiwi. And again, look, Minx overbought, crossover. This is our exit signal. And now we just sit back and reevaluate, right? Is it going to be a dip that we get another continuation opportunity, or perhaps reversal within the trend opportunity? Or do we just fully reject and come all the way back into the baseline? I'm not a reversal trader, so this is not my trade. And I'll just leave it at that. Aussie CAD looks like it's going to 0. But again, just pathways to profit, classic short trend signal right here. Boom, 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 boom. And just holding that position open, nothing to do. Aussie dollar, exact same way. Canadian Swiss, choppy. I don't see any trades here. We are below the baseline. And again, you could have taken this short on this candle, which, again, you're in profit, but barely. So it hasn't really moved yet. The Canadian yen. Canadian yen actually looks really good to me. I would be long on the Canadian yen as of this bar. The Swiss yen. I mean, beautiful run on the Swiss yen, right? Breaking above previous resistance. Here is the continuation signal on the Swiss yen right here. And I would be running this. Again, I'd be long on this. Euro Aussie, exact same thing. Looking like we are going to get that continuation signal right here. Again, you could be long right here. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. We don't need the signal from WADA. Again, we've had a nice run on the Euro Aussie. And here we look to be getting some continuation again. Euro CAD, very close to the daily baseline. So looking for a reversal baseline bounce opportunity. Also looking for continuation at this point in time. Euro Swissy, of course, short. Breaking down below the baseline. And where's our short signal? Right here on this candle. Probably hitting TP1 already, but holding the short open on the Euro Swissy. The Euro Kiwi, reversal baseline bounce. Very simple. Be long, hold long. Euro Pound, break down below the baseline. Trading signal on this bar right here, actually. And down we go. Euro Yen, exact same thing. I'd be long here. I had some chop here, but nice, beautiful run here. And continuation signal here. I'd be long. Euro dollar, again, nice run. And then what happened? Minx was very close to oversold or overbought, gave us some exit signals. Certainly we want to be out here as soon as price starts going back down below the zero line. That's when we want to be out of the trend. Nothing to do here. We are approaching the baseline at terminal velocity, which is at 1.05536. So looking for reversal baseline opportunities or looking for reversals within the trend, looking for bullish crossovers on minks to be looking to go long. The pound Kiwi, continuation signal on high momentum, high volatility. Your choice if you want to take that. I don't have an opinion on the Kiwi, but again, we had nice continuation signal. Pound Canadian, again, we were in a bullish trend. Price is reset, waiting for a continuation signal or continued bearishness. Pound Swissy, again, we're biased to the long side. I don't see any trading signals right here, so nothing. Pound Yen, still be holding long on this bad boy. Minx has not yet given us a full exit signal, so nothing to worry about there. Pound Dollar, just waiting for a reset, looking for an opportunity to go long. Pound Aussie, do we have a continuation signal? We did get a continuation signal on this bar. Very close to resistance, but a low risk, take your choice. Kiwi Dollar, breakdown, short on this bar right here. We've got that volume spike. We got the loss of the baseline. We've got a rising explosion level. We've got Minx crossing below zero, all of the things. The Kiwi Cats, exact same thing. Kiwi Swiss, exact same thing. Kiwi Swissy, I'd actually be looking for a reversal within the trend here. This is almost a reversal baseline bounce opportunity. You can see how well this one played out right here. And the dollar Canadian. Looking like we're getting a trading signal on dollar Canadian right now today. Dollar Swissy, nothing. Nothing. Dollar yen, I would be long. I'd have been long right here. Aussie Swissy, are we getting a we already got a continuation signal on this bar, so we'd be short on the Aussie Swissy. And the dollar to the yuan, renminbi. Yeah. Trading signal right here or here. Take your pick, but be long on the dollar yen, yuan. All right, what else do we got? We've got... What is going on here? Just taking a look at the gold trust on the Spider Gold Trust. On the daily, again, we've had a nice run in gold. We're still bullish on gold, but gold is pulling back down to maybe 175.72. And we'll look for that either reversal within the trend continuation signal, reversal baseline bounce, or if price breaks down below the daily baseline, then we'd of course be looking to switch the direction that we want to trade on GLD. All right. Let's see here. All right, we've got I got a couple minutes, guys. So if you guys have any questions about the markets, about trading, about anything, I'll be happy to answer them. And then we'll plug the comment section, and we'll plug the services, and that's it for the day, guys. That is it for the day. And say back the midget says, what about SHIB and BTT? Well, I don't think they are escaping the broader sell-off of the market, even though I am a SHIB holder. And yeah, SHIB is just getting absolutely hammered. SHIB's actually back down at the daily low. All right. So SHIB has not been able to moon successfully, was not able to really take advantage of all the momentum from all the meme coins. I mean, it did, of course, rally like 100%, but so did everything else. SHIB did briefly hit the oversold area right here on the weekly. Are we get out of here, baseline? Yeah, we're not even, you know, again, this looks like a decent chart on the weekly time frame. If you're a degen and you want to buy the dip, absolutely, by all means. SHIB looks very bottomed out here. On the daily time frame, again, we did have Minx go oversold. We had Paralox go oversold as well. We don't really see any upside momentum yet. Let's see here. And depending on how strict you want to be with your baseline, we either need price to like rally like 30% or maybe like 13% to potentially look for trades. But you know, again, I'm bearish on SHIB. You know, I'm not really interested in catching these movements right here. These are things that I would rather just wait and then, you know, buy when they're actually breaking out. Like for example, like this movement right here, this is what I'm interested in buying. Not these rallies off the bottom where you just know you're going to get dumped on, right? Like when this rallies, like you've got all this time to get out. Like when these things, when you rally off the bottom, you do not have a lot of time to get out. Like you got to, if you're not selling at a good price, you're toast, man. So SHIB doesn't look that great, man, unless you're a degen and want to buy the bottom, which by the way, I love degens who buy the bottom. BitTorrent token is not something that I hold. What is going on here? I just want BTT USDT. BTT, what the fuck is BTTC? Whatever. BTT looks the same. Again, back at its, is this all-time low? Yeah, all-time low for BTT. This does not look good to me. Although again, maybe this pre-accumulation prior to the rally, again, I would be watching for breakouts of like 644 and then maybe we consider it, but this is not how we do things here. No, this is not great. And then Embracer Group. Whoa. This is bringing me all these stock charts that look like shitcoins today, right? Okay, I mean, pretty simple, right? Daily time frame, trading below the daily baseline, getting all these short signals. I mean, hell, you could have like held this thing for a beautiful trade on the weekly time frame. Is even more clear reversal baseline bounce, and then here's your weekly trading signal to go short, boom, 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 and then look how much you've been rewarded. I mean, Jesus. 68%. Don't know anything about what's going on here. No reason. Big gap down a couple of days ago. Not my type of trade. I don't like to buy when you know, sorry. I got nothing on the daily time frame. This is just not my cup of tea here, guys. I do not see the opportunity here for Embracer Group. I mean, I'm sure some people do, but for these type of trades, you got to have deep pockets and you got to be willing to take losses. And I think it's just better to, especially for the lower, especially with a trader for less than $100,000 in their account, like just follow the leader, right? If something's going up, trade up. If something's going down, trade down, right? You know, if you want to do, even though like Warren Buffett, buy when there's blood in the streets. Yeah, but you've got the money to stomach the losses. You've got the time. You can weather the opportunity cost. When you don't have a lot of funds and you want to be a profitable trader, trades like this that are going to suck up a lot of your time, they're not worth it. You got to think about how much opportunity cost you're losing when you could get into something that's going in that direction right now, find something with high momentum and then get in that and then exit when the trend seems to bend. That is the way. I'm really telling you guys, that is how I've been profitable and successful as a trader, is just trying to avoid all of these other things that everybody tells me is a good idea and just focusing on what at the end of the day makes me the most amount of money in the quickest way possible. All right, I'll get off the soapbox now. All right, guys. I want to thank everybody very, very much for joining me today. You guys have been a fantastic audience. We've laughed, we've cried, we've made some money, hopefully, guys. We will be back tomorrow. Same crypto time, same crypto network, generally around about 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. If you guys enjoy the show, make sure to support us by smashing the like button, like it owes you money, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss an episode. We are here every day. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, and or death threats, leave them in the comments section down below. I'm happy to answer them. I try to respond to all the comments as often as I can. Make sure to join our Discord. That's where you can keep the conversation going long after the show is over. It's the best resource I know of on the internet to learn how to trade, find like-minded individuals, and improve your trading skills. And if you have any questions or you're interested in any of our services as far as trading education, coaching, mentoring, our premium indicator suite, our tactical trade signals and market updates, all of that information is down in the description below. And I want to tell everybody, I want to wish everybody a very happy Thursday. Remember that risk management and emotional discipline are what pay the bills. Yeah, despite what others have told you, it's risk management and emotional discipline. That's what pays the bills. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Trade safely.